Hello, Chris, and anyone else that's interested in 2Bs. I've used a pretty empty chart, but it's the same 5-minute 2B that you outlined on my Twitter feed, Chris. So basically, I use 2B reversals as a very loose term now because I place a huge amount more emphasis on line charts, the open and closes of candles, than I do on what Vic called the poke and trigger bar, the high and the low. And basically, if we call this the trigger and then this the poke through, this would be the break, the close above this on a significant time frame would be the entry. And all I've left on this chart is the TMA slope. But I should point you towards all the YouTube videos I've made on 2B, and it's easy to find them. I've put a link on, numerous links on my Twitter feed. Just go to my YouTube channel and search on my channel for 2B. And that'll bring up probably close to a couple of hundred 2B reversals. But the important thing, you put your yellow dot there, I think, and there, and it is the break. This is the significant level because it's the last level that broke through buyers. So it's the last sort of candle, if you like, which is what Vic talks about. But as I say, go back, use the reference that I talk about on my YouTube channel, this channel. But there is another important reason I left this on, because as I've mentioned in many old videos, is you are protected from getting in too early. Let's connect the proper levels here. That's a high, makes a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Failed to make a new high, didn't break that, although the wicks probably show it did, and it's messy. And then if we go to candles in a minute, you'll see why I'm on the line chart mainly, because it is the change of the day. So there was a gap created by spread. And but most importantly, this is the last level of sellers that pushed below the buyers. In other words, supply broke demand, and that then becomes the significant level. And you could draw a level on here and say, right, I'm getting ready to trade the break of that. And this is why this is on here. This is why I added all of the different momentum indicators. You can use what you like. Stochastics, RSI, all sorts of other ones, MACDs. If they're not green, not above the zero, there's no momentum, you shouldn't be looking at along. So we could, if you look at the candles, we could say, right, there's a bit of a 2B going on there, and we broke there. I haven't checked this, but that would probably be the case. You'd be really thinking, should I trade long here? But no, you kept out of it. And that's the most important part of this this whole video. Well, the first bit is, I'm not interested really in the old Vic Sporandio rules, but I do emphasize, or do push you to watch my videos and see the progress and the change of my emphasis. So, and this so clearly highlights what I watch for. You know, you don't get faked in. There will be fake entries. You know, here's another one. Nothing happens until we get the green. And then what I see here is a M1 2B reversal going on. But there might be an M1 2B here. There might be an M1 2B here. But if we take our lead from the 5-minute time frame on M1, then we shouldn't even be thinking about that at that point. So you just draw your levels as it creates a new lower low on the down move. You draw your levels, wait for the break. Is it green? No. forget it. Draw another one, wait for the break up, it doesn't, forget it, and so on and so forth. But if we were on M1, let's put a vertical on here, and I hope this doesn't confuse you. Let's use this as an example. That's the low around about there. I haven't tested this or checked it. Didn't even know the Sonic Dragon was on there, but I love that Sonic Dragon pattern. So here we're looking at the same scenario. Let's get rid of the Sonic Dragon, actually, we don't need that. It's confusing to the indicator. And if we look at the line charts, it will be clearer. High, low, lower high, lower low. As we track down, we just track them. This is how I taught myself this stuff. You know, over here, breaks the low, track it for a long. You know you want long. And again, broken this low here with this one. So we track it down. It's that simple. And that idiot ICT tells people trend lines don't work, you know, and ruins people's lives because of it, because it's lies. You just track them down, and they are just really like EMAs. You know, they change as you create new bars and so on and so forth. So we can see this is strengthening to the upside because it's broken through a trend line there. And then it breaks through another trend line here, and we should start thinking, maybe we should be looking for longs. And then we get the potential of a break up there in the 2B rules, that high there. And what do? We check on the higher time frame, 5-minute chart, and it's all wrong. Totally and utterly wrong. So without confusing things even more, go and watch a load of videos, and you know, hopefully a few pennies will drop. That was a totally different scenario here, but again, you know, I see these in my sleep now, and I'm lucky in that respect. So we draw this blue line the minute a low is broken. A lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. There. And then we watch for potential longs. Now, I wonder if M5... Oh, we're on M5. So, apologies for that. So, the other answer to this age-old question about 2Bs and stuff is teach yourself what to do. Watch them till your eyes bleed. Is that good to go? Look on M5, no. Is that good to go? Look on M5, no. And is this good to go? Well, look on M5, it's starting to look good. But you've got, not only have you, you know, I, in my opinion, have got the king of indicators, which is the RSI histo bust, pullback, break and close. That I spent thousands of hours watching. I mean thousands. And I built it based on the the 2B reversal was mentioned to me by a guy I paid to mentor me. I call him a mentor loosely because really the mentors don't teach you anything. They teach you the basics like I'm doing here, and then they tell you to go away, or if they've, you know, they won't because they want your monthly subscriptions. But what you need to do is go away on your own and just watch this stuff. And the 2B, in my opinion, is the best possible pattern to learn. Or, you know, this now could be called the Wyckoff, whatever it is. I forget what he calls it, spring or something. But because I've moved to the line chart, so it's not strictly anything to do with 2Bs now. It's more to do with that Wyckoff thing. But you know, I'll go back to the RSI histo bust, pullback, break and close. So I was shown the 2B halfway through a 6 or 7 month mentorship course, and all of a sudden the mentor was a waste of time. It was just that one off-the-cuff comment. You say, oh, look at this pattern, it really works well. And that was it. Didn't need all the other squiggly line stuff and all the other stuff he was showing me. All I needed was that pattern because I could see it worked 100 years ago. And then improve on that. And what I did then was actually create the 3CR, 3 candle reversal, because then I realized these swings, this high here, or this high, which is an open and close, and this low, which is an open and close, could represent one candle. So instead of looking at these swings, all I needed to do was look at 3 candles, hence the 3 candle reversal. 1 candle down, 2 candle down, 3 candle. The 3rd candle breaks the 2nd candle in the up move, closes above it. That is a 3 candle reversal, developed from the 2B reversal. And then I used the various indicators on and off my charts all the time, on and off, on and off, on and off, until I found the RSI histo by a guy, I forget his name now, and it was a weird name, quite a popular nickname or something, I think, but it changed my life, because it was, if you look up decimal or micro pip on my YouTube channel or on my Twitter feed, you will probably find something relating to how precise the RSI histo bust, pullback, break and closes. It's better than the TMA slope. It's just happened that this plain template was with the TMA and not the RSI. So, but it still does the job. You wouldn't want to go long unless a MACD was saying go long. You wouldn't want to go long if your indicator of choice is the stochastics. Or if you don't get my RSI histo bust, pullback, break and close, sort of this scenario here. Bust up, showing momentum, pull back, showing a drop off, and then the break and close would be this bar here, because that's the bust, the high of the bust. It's not this here, it's the high, it's the close above the high part of the momentum of the bust part. So I've gone totally off topic, but the reason for this whole video, as I said to you, was to tell you that the only way you can learn how to trade 2B reversals is to watch what happens and develop your own belief system. You know, don't listen to Vic Sporandio, don't listen to me. Well, you could listen to me because I've probably done more work on the 2B now than Vic possibly originally did. And that's it, bust, pullback, break and close. That is a bust, pullback, break and close, but it's not an RSI histo one. I'm not talking about this green dotted line. That is just a sort of coincidence on the TMA. But there you go. So this doesn't, all this shows you is the angle of the price, which is what I wanted to work with way back when I got it on my charts. Shows you that you've come into an uptrend. And, you know, this will be an uptrend on the tick chart now. So anyway, I digress. So to answer your question, Chris, yeah, your yellow and your 2 yellow dots is the right thing. Identify, if you like, the break of the low. That's your first yellow dot, that's your second yellow dot. First yellow dot, second yellow dot, and so on and so forth. So first yellow dot, second yellow dot. And this is your valid reversal on that M1. High, low, lower high, lower low. We've trended above it. Ideally, you'd want this situation, which is why that's dead handy there. Low, high, higher, low. Break of the sellers there by the buyers. That is where you really want to be entering. Okay, hopefully that's helpful. Have a look at, use the search facility on my YouTube feed, and you should be good to go. Watch a few thousand hours of those and you won't need any other questions. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.